Imposter syndrome is the inability to believe that one's success is deserved or legitimately achieved as a result of one's own effort or skills. Hi everyone, I'm Brenda Harvey, author of the Conspiracy series, and today we are going to be talking about imposter syndrome. But before we get into the video, I'm just going to ask you guys if you have been enjoying my content to please subscribe to my channel, because I know that over 50% of my viewers aren't subscribed. Are you scared of commitment? Because you don't have to fully commit. You can leave anytime you want. This is not a situation where you just have to stay forever and ever and ever and ever. You can leave. But for now, while you're still enjoying my content, why don't you just go ahead and subscribe? It's going to make your life a lot easier because you don't have to do the whole opening YouTube and then searching my name and then clicking on the video. You can just go to your notifications and then click on my video, or go to your subscriptions tab and then click on my video. It can be so much easier. Or even if you have a phone, which I'm assuming you do, that little notification is going to pop up and it's going to say Brenda Harvey posted a video, and then you can just double tap that and then it will take you to YouTube. So you don't even have to open the YouTube app, it's just going to open it for you with my video. Isn't that so much easier and so much better? So just subscribe, and if you end up liking this video, please like it. Also, let me know in the comments if you have anything you want me to do a video on, questions, comments, concerns. Also, I wrote 3 books. The Conspiracy, The Lead, and The Killers. If you do not read those, you will be very lost the majority of the time on this channel, so make sure just to buy those, read those, and then come back so I can tell you all the top secret information that happened with those. Anyway, let's get into the video because I think I've just lost about 5 people. Imposter syndrome. Something I definitely have. Here's the thing. I published 3 books. We've established this. And those 3 books you guys are going to want to read. We have established that as well. But moving on from that, to me, I will be with my friends and we'll be talking about writing or English or something, and they'll be like, oh, well, yeah, you're an author. And I'm like, oh yeah, I am. Which besties, not your fault. This is my problem. You can't fix it for me. But anyway, but when it's oh yeah, you're an author, it's well, yeah, but I don't feel like I have the credibility to say anything. I failed spelling in elementary school. I still can't spell to save my life. Ask Charlotte. The amount of times she has been like, Brenda, what is this word supposed to say? Because that's not English. See, that's not English. Fun time. But when people will ask me about writing and stuff, I feel like I'm not an expert on it, which I guess you can never really be an expert on something. You're at least writing, you're always going to be discovering new things and learning new things and when to break the rules and when not to break the rules, and you really want to prove your English teacher wrong, so then you write an entire book where you're breaking this one specific rule. Not that I can speak from experience. But there's just so much to learn in writing, and I definitely don't feel like I'm the next leading expert. I definitely don't think I'm going to be coming into someone's English class and be yes, well, let me explain my writing experience. No. And I guess part of it is I don't really have a name. No, I have a name, but it's not a big name. Does that make any sense? But it's one of the nice things about being like a famous author is the majority of the time people are going to recognize your work before they recognize your name. Like, this is probably a bad example, but Harry Potter, you're going to recognize that before J.K. Rowling. The Chronicles of Narnia, you're probably going to recognize that before C.S. Lewis. Fahrenheit 451, Ray Bradbury. Now, like, obviously I'm listing some, like, more well-known authors because I actually know their names off the top of my head, and there's a reason that they are well-known because people know their books. But you get the picture. So, when it comes to me, like, there's this element of, like, you don't know what you're doing. Why are people asking you these things? And, like, I'm on summer now, like, I'm not in school anymore, but a few weeks ago, I was in my English teacher, well, freshman English teacher, and hopefully junior English teacher, slash drama teacher, slash director's room, like in the morning before classes, and we were talking about, so like at my school, the freshmen have this like creative writing project at the end, and we were talking about like the freshmen's writing projects, and like I said the only thing I remember from that story is that I cut it off super abruptly, and then the teacher was like, yeah, and I probably called you out on it. Yeah, you totally did. And then it like was a joke. Well, it was Brenda. You probably should have just left it. Like, leave what's good alone. And like obviously it was a joke, just like kind of laugh it off and like the more you learn, and like obviously she's like a teacher and she's been like reading stuff like a lot longer than me. She's older than me, obviously, because she's like a teacher and I'm like 16. But for me, it's like, well, I definitely have stuff to learn, and yes, I should have been called out because I didn't know how to end it, so I just stopped writing. And there have definitely been times where, like, just because I write a lot more, it's harder for, I don't know how I want to say it. Just because I've been writing a lot more, it's a lot easier for me to write in a way that will look like a finished product that came from one of my peers. Does that make sense? Because I have definitely turned in work where it's just, I threw it together in less than an hour and I just turned it in because it was good, wasn't perfect, but I needed to get it done. But just like this idea that I know what I'm doing is a little bit foreign. And then another thing is like the entire time leading up to the publication of The Conspiracy, my first book, whenever I said, oh, I'm writing a book, it's like, oh, good for you? It's like, oh, that's really cool. But there was always that little bit of doubt, like, what you gonna do? She's like, shoot, house. She's like 14, like, what you gonna do? And it's like, I am 14 and I'm going to publish a freaking book. And I did. Let the record show. No, I am not a superhero. Moving on from that. But I've noticed, like, when I've said, oh, I'm writing another book, it's like, that's so cool. I'm so proud of you. You're doing, like, such a great job. And then also the sheer amount of people, good job. When I published The Conspiracy, it's like, where were you a week ago when it wasn't published? Where were you when I told you I was writing a book? So, where were you? And it's like, now that I've published 3 books, I'm working on a 4th that we definitely don't know about yet. It's like, oh, here we go again. Like, good job. You are doing good work. I'm so proud of you. Like, you are doing something that the majority of the world will never do in their entire lives, and you're 16. It's like, okay, 2 years ago, when I was 14 and I hadn't published a single book, what would you have said if I told you I was writing a book? It's that another, a 4th, that gets people. It's like, And that's just the harsh reality that you're going to have to deal with. Whether you're a teen author or you've just never published before, the harsh reality is until you do the thing, you haven't done the thing. And the people who stand by you the entire time, like Charlotte and the Besties, those are the people who you want to keep as friends. The people who are like, oh, yeah, good job. Like, sure, that's gonna happen. Those are not the people you need in your life. And there were some Jameses who were like that, who were like, oh, yeah, sure, you're gonna publish. Yeah, whatever. And they did it. And they didn't care. Like, at all. Like, at all. It's like, here we go again. Like, ugh. If you want to know about the Jameses, I made a video about it, but we don't need to talk about them much more. And like also when I was publishing, that was when I published, that was definitely the start of, that was like definitely the phase. And that was also quarantine, so we were having and I would leave them less than 6 months later. Moving on from the Jameses, because they do not matter, because we are living our own lives. I am living my life. They are living their lives. I have nothing to do with them. I don't want anything to do with them. They can have their fun, and I don't want to deal with them, like, at all. So we aren't going to talk about the Jameses anymore, because I'm living my life. They're living their lives. I've forgiven them, because forgiveness is the first step to indifference. Okay? Forgiveness is the first step to indifference. I want every single one of you who has ever dealt with a James to remember forgiveness is the first step to indifference. But your bestie over there, they can be bitter the entire time. Like, if they want to be bitter, like, let them do that. They can be bitter. Let them be bitter if they would like to. Your bestie, not you. Your bestie. Forgiveness is the first step to indifference. I'm so quotable. Anyway, so I don't know how long it's going to be for me, and I don't know how long it will be for you. And it's like, well, I mean, I did it, but I'm not like there. And it might be like, I'm like, as Ellie would say, when I'm a big and famous author and I'm like doing an inspirational talk, there will probably be at least one where it's like, I don't know what I'm doing and I don't know like how much of this I deserve, and I'm just kind of like rolling along like everyone else. And it's going to feel above and beyond. And like, I know Charlotte's going to watch this and she's going to text me and she's going to be like, you made it. Like, it's like, yeah. When I feel that way, I'll let you know. But it's like, when does this feeling of I've made it ever like set in? You know? I will leave you with that thought. And if you like this video, please like it down there and leave a comment about your imposter syndrome. Do you have imposter syndrome? Are you going to publish a book? If you're going to publish a book, let me know. And if you have published a book, send me a link. I will buy it very happily. And if you have any video ideas, please let me know, because I am running low on content ideas. And subscribe to this channel. It is not a major commitment. You can always leave. Like, honestly, it's not that big a deal. It's just, it helps everyone else. It also helps YouTube algorithm, because the more subscribers I have, the more people I can reach and help them move on from James's or publish books, because that is what I am here to do. And also, if I get 100 subscribers, then I can get a custom URL, which means basically I can put in the back of my books to find me on YouTube / that custom URL, which would be that would be amazing for me. And if you guys could help me do that, just please click that little subscribe button down there, and I will see you guys next week with another video. Bye!